A very warm welcome to this course of Data Science for Managers. Now, it is a very non-trivial course for you future business managers because it is not very much related to marketing, finance, strategy, human resources. Why this data science for the future managers? So I have already sent an introductory video for this course. And to begin with, I just want a little bit of feedback from you all. What do you think that video was intended to do, or what were the key messages from that video? Any thoughts, anyone? Moses?
We have a lot of data floating around.
Oh, that's great. So the first point is lots of data. Perfect. Dhirendra?
We are not properly equipped with what to do with this data.
Okay. So you need some type of tools to deal with data. Perfect. Anything else? Balaji?
Not all data is making sense.
That's also true. That's true to some extent. Not all data is useful. Okay. So, yeah, pretty much I think the expectations of that video were pretty much met. So let's move and see what I have for you all with respect to that video. So this is the summarization of that video. So yes, as Moses said, there is a huge amount of data available all across. And there is a good possibility of using that data for competitive advantage for businesses. Then there was also an information on basically what data types are available in businesses. Then there were some practical instances of how data is there all around in such huge sizes and compositions. And a very important point, which I just want to make, is that there is a huge amount of rise in this data because of the factor that people are getting networked too much. So this is a prime reason for which maybe today's managers need to know something about data science. Another quick points I want to know from you all. So do you think that in eras of 70s, 80s, and 90s, there was no data? There was data. Okay. So why all this data science, business analytics, all these type of stuffs right now? Is something changed from that time to this time?
Access.
Availability became like more young.
Close. Moses was, and you both are actually very close to what I am trying to go through. So there are two things. Actually, one you are very close to.
Electronics allow us to perform calculations faster.
Yeah, so I can sum up all the three gatherings and just put two words for this. First thing is that now it is very easy and cheap to capture data. In eras of 90s or something, if you need to capture a 1 MB or type of data, I think half the size of the room would be occupied. And now it's 32 GB in a single pen drive. And another thing is the processing power. So yes, these 2 points which were not there in the video, and I just wanted that the class should come up with this. It's good that you all have these points in your mind. Okay. So setting up the agenda for this session, we have a very clear agenda. This is a very short introductory session on data science. So I just don't want to burden you with too many techniques or algorithms or things with which you can deal with the data. But yes, I just want you to have that experience of data science, what it is all about. So there are 3 main pointers which I want to focus in this session, illustrating the need, why data science is needed. We have simpler methods to go around and get some numbers out of the data. Why this all data science and stuff for managers actually? And then what are the components of data science? And at last, again, I will try to portray some realistic examples where I will work around things and just try to show you how data science is actually making the difference. So I'll move quickly and look at this example. So you can see in this example that it is about 4 stores of a particular firm. And all these stores have a particular price of product and the sales of that particular product, sale units of that product across some 11 months. And with that, you can see that you have the average and variance across these 4 locations exactly same. So does that mean that everywhere it is going in the same way? There is no inherent meaning to the data? Moses, do you agree? Just a quick yes or no.
Probably yes.
So you feel that
All
things...
4 of them have identical performance.
Correct, correct. In terms of basic statistical measures like average or variance. Dhirendra, any opinion?
So, what is it like at the macro level? It seems, but we go in much details by monthly distribution. There are some.
Sure. Vijay, any comments?
There are differences inside.
Mhm.
Some are same, some are.
Fine, you are actually matching with what Dhirendra said. So we will not move to anything bigger analysis or something, just a graphical plot of this. And you should see the difference. So with price increase, at Boston, the sales is also increasing. At Detroit, there is just 1 point which is deviating, otherwise there is a similar behavior observed. At New York, at a stationary price also the sales is increasing. And at Chicago, there is a different behavior. So the important point that I want to put forth over here is that at the first go of data, you might not be able to translate some informations out of it. But yes, they have certainly certain things hidden inside for which you need to equip yourself with tools and techniques that can help you to understand the data better and drive out some insights. Suppose I wanted to decide some marketing strategy for these 4 stores at different locations, and I would have just gone through the average thing and decided. So that might have, I might need different strategies at different locations, but I would have done something identical across all the places, which should not be the actual course. Okay, moving ahead. So this is a basic insight for why this data science is needed. This is a very small and short example, but yes, it would always give you the feel of why there are things needed in data science or why there are complicated algorithms and techniques needed for this. Okay, talking about the components of data science. So at the most strongest shell of data science, you have your technology and computing. Then you have your logic and mathematics at the inner course of data science. Then you have the domain knowledge. And then you have your communication skills at the very core of data science. And this actually reinforces why data science is very much important for business managers. Because as a client, I would not be interested in what type of statistical method you have used to come out with certain recommendations for my business. At the end of the day, I would be interested in normal business language that what I should do for my business so that my business gets promoted. So you're understanding all these domains of logic, the expertise, as well as the communication skill. These all 3 are very well connected to the business managers. And this course will give you a suitable instinct of the technology and computing part as well, so that you can enable yourself as a very good business manager with decent data science skills. Moving ahead. So, yeah, these are some examples. And before I go through them, let me beforehand thank, I've already mentioned in my source over there, these are the examples taken from an analytics company that is named as Gramner. So these are some interesting examples just to show you bits and pieces of how data analytics and these things works around. So this is example of Mahabharata. It has a total of around 1.8 million words. In some sense, it is big data. We will come to the concepts of big data, what big data is, and all those in forthcoming sessions. But at this point of time, you can consider that if something is 1.8 million words, it is something big. And it is unstructured because it is a textual data. Now, there are certain principal characters revolving around Mahabharata, which are named over here, which, because of certain cultural imbibations, you might be knowing these. But anyways, these are certain characters. Now, an important point to understand is if someone does not know this, what can be done? We all know about certain characters of, let me see if it goes to the online mode, then we can surely have a quick hands-on how it is doing. Otherwise, I will just tell you and so in the meanwhile, I will just tell you what I'm exactly trying to show you. They have done nothing but a simple frequency count of words and trying to show you the occurrence of characters and how closely they are linked with each other. Now, this is a great information in terms of text. So you can see over here, I would just select, these two are by default selected, Yudhishthir and Bhim. These are, by the way, the characters you might be knowing. But in any ways, these are two characters of the scripture Mahabharata. So you can see, these are the places, the 18 chapters across which these two characters are linked with each other. And this is nothing but a simple frequency match of these words across different parts of the text. And so useful information you are getting that these two characters are so closely linked because they are talking to each other at so many instances. Now, there is something more to this. Now, this is a very unique graphical representation. Now, okay, here it is. I just pull out Krishna. And now you can see certain levels at which these characters are linked to each other. Now, this is really a very useful information because text like this, so huge, if you want to draw even a single bit of useful information, it is very intense to get that. And you are getting that at a so low cost of doing some frequency analysis and those things. Imagine about complicated algorithms and those. What sort of information that can give you? So I feel that you can understand how important it is to get the nuances of data science and get a drive for your business organizations. Okay? Moving ahead. So I think there is some problem with the connection video. So I will just play the video over here. This is another example of weather of India. I don't know why the sound is... The sound was working fine. Okay, anyways. Yeah, okay. So this is an interesting video which actually analyzes 100 years of weather data for India. And it says that northern parts are usually hot in summers and cold during winters, while the southern part have a type of different, a little bit of reflection of this. They are suitably cooler in summers as well. This is an analysis from 1901 to 2001. But an interesting thing that they have came out from this particular analysis with just data points across months of these 100 years is that Bilaspur in Chhattisgarh and Shimoga in Karnataka are those places which behave very abruptly in terms of their behavior for different seasons. Like Bilaspur is a place, if there is scorching heat around it, Bilaspur will be a place where there will be suitably decent temperature. So this is an interesting finding. If everything around you is heating in 46 degrees centigrades and a place I don't know what is the reason behind it, what geographical reasons contribute to it, but yes, it is a finding from the data. Okay, so moving ahead. Okay, so this is something again very interesting, slide application from education. So I hope the reason must be known to all of you, but let me still ask. So these are basically the marks of around 8.5 lakh students plotted on a frequency graph for English exam. And you can see two peaks in this frequency chart. One is at 33, another is at 95. Any suggestions why it is so?
So what is that horizontal axis?
That is the marks from 1 to 100. And along the vertical axis, you have the number of students falling at that mark.
33 is the passing mark.
Great. And another important thing to notice is that, okay, that in last, like from 26 to 32, there is
Promoted to 33.
there's no student.
No, no, no.
So yes, this is a positive moderation. And now another important thing to consider is why there are so many students at 95. It suggests that there is also a negative moderation. Teachers want that students should be restricted to 95% of the marks. There are very few students who cross that 95 boundary. So you can see that such a small analysis from the data gives you so insightful information. So yes, this is another example. Okay, so yes, this was a very short session, and we will take up the complex part of it session by session, different methods, different algorithms, how it goes about. But yes, these are the main learnings from this specific short session. So why do we need in-depth analysis for the data? I just tried to promote that through the very initial example where I was forecasting, just portraying the 4 sale divisions of a particular company. Then I talked about the ingredients of the data science, and that pretty much gives you the definition of data science also. Because data science is a combination of computing power, logic, business expertise, as well as your communication skills. And there were 2 applications. One was about Mahabharata, and the second one was about weather of India as well as the education data. So about Mahabharata, it was about the unstructured data, which you got to know through your introductory video. And the weather and the education-related data are the structured data, where you have exactly physical numbers, which you can plot around and play with. So, and yes, there was something called as power of data visualization, which was a very interesting video by a researcher in global health. His name is Hans Rosling, which was a 4 minutes video. But due to some technical issues, we might not take that up. But that was an interesting video to show you how powerful data visualization is and how easily you can analyze a huge amount of data in seconds to understand very critical components of decision making and make your decision more effective. So with this, I would actually like to end my session over here and open you all to any questions like how this course is going to suit you, which domain you want to focus on. Okay, thank you.